Hi again. We're in Three Worlds Plan of Redemption, Nelson Barbour, Charles Taze Russell, page 114. They have been addressing their certainty that the 1260 days of Daniel and Revelation are the years between 538 and 1798. The rise of Rome, specifically the papacy, the Roman Church, and the end of the control of the papacy of the nations of Europe. They believe 1798 is therefore the end of the 1260 days, and that 1335 days, that is an extension of about 75 years after 1798, would lead to the resurrection, when Daniel would rise up. So now they're into Daniel 12. The time of trouble is foretold, the deliverance of Daniel's people, the resurrection of many that sleep in the dust of the earth, and also the fact that the book was to be closed up and sealed until the time of the end. Then follows a question: how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? That's 12:6. And the answer given seems to have a reference to what was to follow: the abomination that maketh desolate, the great central figure of the prophecy, both in Daniel and John. Daniel had already learned something of this monstrous nightmare of the prophetic page, for in the 7th chapter, under the symbol of the little horn having eyes and a mouth, he had seen it wearing out the saints of the Most High, and had learned that it was to continue to hold times and laws for a time, times, and the dividing of time. But the judgment should sit, and they should take away its dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. And yet, notwithstanding they should take away its dominion, he had learned that the same horn would make war with the saints, and prevail up to the time the saints took the kingdom. And the heavenly visitor, holding his hands up to heaven, swore by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time, times, and half a time, a period we now understand to be 1260 years. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished, according to Daniel 12, verse 7. The scattering, evidently, extends to the end of the time of trouble, which was the first of the wonders named, and is the one which includes all the others. And this time of trouble extends some 38 years into the future, even now, since it reaches to the end of the times of the Gentiles, or to AD 1914. And with present light we can see how comprehensive was the answer to that question. For in Zechariah 14, in the day of the Lord, after that day has commenced, God will gather all nations against Jerusalem, and the city shall be taken, and a part go into captivity. It is Daniel's people referred to in chapter 12, and to whom the scattering applies. At that time shall thy people be delivered, every one found written in the book, according to the first verse of Daniel 12. The attempt has been made to apply this to the gospel church, but if you look at Daniel 9:24, you may read, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city. This certainly refers to the Jewish nation. Now I can totally concur here that that's exactly right. In the context of Daniel itself, thy people refers to the Jewish nation. If thy people, of Daniel 9, belongs exclusively to the Jews, it is exceedingly arbitrary to say thy people of Daniel 12 has no reference to the Jewish nation, nor is there the least foundation for such a claim. Again, we can agree. Everyone found written in the book clearly refers not to John the Revelator's book of life, but to Ezekiel's writing of the house of Israel. And mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel, neither shall they enter the land of Israel. That's Ezekiel 13, verse 9. And not until this prophecy of Zechariah 14 is fulfilled, which belongs to the day of the Lord, will he have accomplished the scattering of the power of the holy people. Daniel's people are the only people referred to in the Old Testament as the holy people. And Jerusalem must be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Why cannot everybody see that the times of the Gentiles extend far into the day of the Lord? Jerusalem is to be surrounded and taken by them in the day of the Lord, and half of the city is to go into captivity in the day of the Lord. and he will not have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people until Jerusalem ceases to be trodden down of the Gentiles. I'll put in a link to a sequence of videos we did on Zechariah 14, which was decisive in our breaking with the Watchtower's method of interpreting the prophets, not just Zechariah, but Zechariah was one of the most important passages.